Hi everyone, so it's 23rd of September, and today I studied mostly LRDI topics. I gave lot of mocks. I gave like VARC sectionals also. I gave QA sectionals too. So it was basically an exam preparatory day, and what I got to realize is that I need to calm down during giving sets. Like in the last moment, I get a lot of panic because of the timer. And the issue with the timer is if I don't see, I just feel anxious that a lot of time has passed, but that's not the case. If I know by what time my set could be over, then I need not to look at the timer. And in my mind, I would get the idea that uh, how much late or how much fast I am during these things. Regarding the QA part, I think I need a lot of practice in QA, as there are a lot of questions that I can do, but I am skipping those just because of lack of practice. LRDI, I start getting a little bit confident because I know how to tackle certain problems, and there is one major issue, like the opening of the set. If I open the setup, then it's pretty easy for me to solve that set in stipulated time. And another factor currently running through my mind is that I can solve one set if I give like 20-30 minutes to it, but I need to reduce that time to 15 minutes. And then that could only be possible if I have that knack of solving and cracking those puzzles. Especially while doing calculation, I think I take a lot of time. Like even subtracting few things, I just need a lot of time in my mental capacity to do all those things, and it's just not worth it taking those small battles in that big battle. So I need to first find out how I can solve those questions in a very quick time, and then it would be much more easier for me to solve sets quickly. Also, as I said yesterday, that I was writing notes and then applying two questions. Now I think it's better to first read the entire question and then makes note according to that. Not start making notes just after every paragraph. So that would be a difficult case. I think when there are different like scenarios given, then it's better to make cases on the go, but it's always good in LRDI at least to read the question once, and then again you need to read the question with a proper mindset, so as to get an idea about what this question wants and how can you solve this question. Some questions are really easy, but because of the large passages and type of question that is formed, it becomes difficult to spot. And sometimes very difficult hard set which is like very difficult to open up, it takes a lot of time and bandwidth of you, uh, but that you pick because you know it's familiar to you or it seems easier in first go. There is a lot of trap that is associated with that. uh, in the VA part, I realized that it's better to read passages first rather than going for VA part, because if I take time in VA, there's slim chance that all those VA questions would be correct, but there's a high chance that if I read a passage and I know what the answer is, then the chances of me marking a correct answer is really great when it is for passages. And few question types like the summary one or um, like fill in the blanks is also one good options to do. But I think para jumble one or two gets really hard. uh, One gets easy. If there are three para jumbles, then two would be really hard for me to actually get the correct answer. And yeah, there are like eight questions, so two or three para jumble or para summary, then fill in the blanks is there or there is odd one out. So I need to have at least 10 or 12 minutes for all these sections. So how can I divide these this into like for getting a good marks is if the passages are easy, I would be trying to read every passage possible. But if passages are very lengthy and very hard, then my strategy would be to solve at least three, and in those three, at least attempt like 12 or 10 questions minimum. So if I am attempting 10 questions in three passages and the passage is really hard, it's good to attempt it with a really great accuracy rather than skipping questions and marking things in a very panic driven mood. Then other form is VA part. In VA part, I think it's good to have at least 10 minutes in hand uh, for answering those questions. And what works best for me is if I read like two passages, so I know that I have read the two easy passages that I found. Uh, then I would be going for the VA section. Then in that I need to know how much difficult the question is. So there are at least like three or sometimes two difficult questions that would take the time. So it's better to leave those questions and get back to the RC and then read the RC passages again, like the leftover RC passages. And if I can finish those two RC, then it would be the great, like I can get a good marks in that. But if it isn't the case, uh, then I should at least attempt three and a half or three RC passages. So that's my goal. So getting to the accuracy part, I think if I attempt these many questions, then getting a 30 marks is uh, easy in the exam. Like I can't guarantee all those things, but 30 marks is what I can get. And regarding the QA part, I should be really good. So what I am lagging is the speed. I can solve questions, but my speed is not that great in any section. So that would come with like solving more questions, practicing more, and handling the pressure situation more. So yeah, that's all for today. I think I spoke a lot, and I'll get back to you tomorrow.